the hurt that people go through. And, you know, I went to jail myself, and I thought about the rate of guys that are in jail and why they're in jail. 29% of those, they grew up in homes that didn't have a father. 31% of, black males don't grow up in a home with a father. And now thinking logically, there are some disorders that go on in a person's mind that takes place. 19% of suicides that take place are through people who don't have a father figure. I'm not going to give you all the stats to it, but, most of the people that use drugs is because they don't have a father figure. Most people who have sexual disorders, now, it may not be nobody here, but some people have sex because they grew up without a father. And I thought about that, and I said, God, that means that there are a lot of people that are really messed up due to not having fathers. And I thought about that, and I said, well, AKILI, how do you speak to the people to compare this or to correlate this practically to their everyday life? I think sometimes we forget that when God places you in a ministry or in a church, that the reason he places you there is because the leader, the pastor, or the under-shepherd, so we call it, is supposed to take on the relationship as your spiritual father. Unfortunately, and you'll find out in today's society, there's, like Apostle Paul says in 1 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, around 13, 14, verse number 15, he says that you have many teachers. Somebody say a lot of teachers. Listen, you're going to have a lot of people, Natasha, who can teach you experiences. There's a lot of people who can give you information. Freddie, there's a lot of guys who can give you information. A lot of teachers, a lot of mentors. But Apostle Paul says, yet you have few fathers. You have few fathers. Because a teacher gives you information. A father gives you impartation. Impartation comes from what I live on a daily basis. Impartation comes from what God directly transmits to me that I transfer to you. So, in today's society, you find that there's not many fathers because most pastors are either in relationships with people in the church, and everybody knows that that's not a good relationship for a father to be with his daughter. Come on now, legally that's wrong. Morally that's wrong. But you find that. I told a young woman one day, I said, listen, how could you even talk to me like that about your pastor? That's your daddy. Come on now, how you talking about your daddy like that? That means you nasty. But that's what's happening today. And you have few fathers who take on the relationship with his children that say, listen, I'm strictly here to guide you. Not only to guide you, but to motivate you and to push you into the place that God has for you to be. And that's what Apostle Paul was talking about to the Corinthian church. He said, listen, don't let all these other jag-leg preachers come around to get your money, to have sex with you, to put witchcraft on you, and pull you out of your destiny. He says that which God has sown must come to pass. It must grow. But if you allow others to come and sow discord into your life, it's going to be an impossible thing. And that's something that I really feel, and I can deal with this church because of dealing with everyone on a weekly basis, and even just looking out here now, I can tell that people don't really understand the relationship of a father and a child. Because if they did, they would understand that what I have, they need it. If they understood, they would understand that they messed up because they're not getting what they need. How could you think that you can live properly if you're not getting the nutrients or you're not getting the things that you need in order to survive? You have to understand that God has placed another mic, y'all, because this one ain't gonna work. God has placed you in a place that your destiny has to be unfold. And I want you to understand something, that God, and this is not to pat myself on the back,